the lead story at this hour. UK Prime Minister Theresa May has just arrived in South Africa in a bid to secure trade deals ahead of Brexit.
Well, it is May's first official visit to the country.
She'll be holding talks with President Cyril Ramaphosa and, weather permitting, will be visiting Robben Island.
Well, our UK correspondent Olly Barratt joins us now from London with more on the significance of Theresa May's visit for Britain itself. Olly, a very good morning to you. And just looking at what Theresa May had to say before she got on that flight to South Africa, saying Africa stands right on the cusp of playing a transformative role in the global economy. What does that tell us about how she views South Africa and what her intentions are with this visit?
Theresa May certainly viewing South Africa as very important indeed to future British trading plans and business ties and economic links within the context of viewing the continent of Africa as incredibly important to the future of the global economy as well. All of this, of course, is in the context of Brexit and Theresa May wanting to show that Britain is going to be that oft-quoted global Britain as it leaves the European Union, that it's not hunkering down, withdrawing into itself as it leaves the EU, but that actually it's an opportunity to look further afield. And Theresa May is making the point as she arrives in South Africa that the South African and the African economies are much more fast growing and have much more opportunity in them than she believes the European economy does. Of course, the European Union is right on the doorstep here. It's just over the English Channel. You can get there in half an hour, and that's part of the reason that trading links have been so strong with the European Union. But the European economy is not growing very quickly. It hasn't done for years. Very few economists predict that it will in the coming years. So looking further afield for new places to do business with, or places with which there is a lot of business done, that ties can be increased and trade can be boosted. South Africa, of course, crucial to that. There is a huge amount of trade already done between the UK and South Africa, but Theresa May will want to see more, and she believes that Britain is well placed to invest in places like South Africa and elsewhere on the African continent. The businesses here in the UK have a lot that they can offer to the African economy, and clearly what she's looking for in return is business deals and extra trade as the African economy becomes front and centre in terms of global growth.
And that trade between UK and South Africa standing at about 79 billion rand in 2017, according to the figures that we have seen. So it's going to really to be about strengthening bilateral trade and investment relations. But could there be a political undertone to the visit as well? Because Theresa May spoke about the importance of Africa being stable.
That's right, and Theresa May is also talking as she heads to Africa, and once she leaves South Africa, she's also visiting Nigeria and Kenya as well. And while she's in Kenya, for example, she'll be seeing British troops training Kenyan and other African troops to fight al-Shabaab. In Somalia, there is a heavy military presence already, a British military presence already inside Kenya. And Theresa May says that if Britain can continue through missions like that, but also through its foreign aid budget, to increase security, to help increase security and stability on the African continent, then that is also good for the UK, because it will increase the ability to do business deals and boost trade as well. Certainly a political aspect to all of this domestically here in the UK, where Theresa May is trying to show that she is optimistic, she is outgoing about Britain's future. She thinks that there are places that Britain can now look to make up for the trade that may be lost as a result of leaving the European Union if the deal that she reaches with Brussels, whatever that deal may be, make life slightly tougher for British traders who do business with the European continent. She wants to show that Britain is out there looking at places where there is life and there is vitality and there is dynamism, and crucially where there is a lot of economic growth. And yes, the political factor is key in all of this.
And just as an aside to that, Olly, I mean, Donald Trump's tweets about our land reform and land expropriation without compensation last week drawing lots of attention to the process here and how South Africa is dealing with this, and the South African government. I mean, that will be probably something that we'd want to hear, how Theresa May feels about something like that and how she views, firstly, the policy, and then comments like that coming from other leaders.
Absolutely right, and you can guarantee that Theresa May will have watched Donald Trump's tweet and the reaction to it with a huge amount of interest. She will know very well of the fact that she is likely to be asked about this issue, if possible, while in South Africa, and you can guarantee that she will have prepared a response to it. Up to now, the British government has not said a huge amount, but has said that it supports the South African government. So I think we can expect a response along those lines, and she would have been very aware of the controversy caused inside South Africa by Donald Trump's intervention in that story, and as a result you would expect her to have some answers prepared in a way that means that she can answer that question satisfactorily without causing a huge controversy like Donald Trump did.
Thank you very much, Olly Barratt, our correspondent in London. Now we go to